Hey guys, we just got back from seeing Thunderbolts, and we thought we would share our initial thoughts about it. And I'll just say first off, I think we both had similar thoughts when the movie got announced. So it's like, oh, we're doing a Thunderbolts movie, and this is the cast, not the people playing them, but like these are the characters who we have to work with. And we were like, is this is this going to work? And then I think we were both really happy with what we saw.
Yeah, I remember when they announced this, it was one of those like, who asked for this kind of deals.
Right,
And it was a lot of characters that I didn't necessarily have like a fondness for. I mean, I do like Bucky, don't get me wrong, but it was like a lot of people from like the Black Widow movie
right,
and Ant-Man and the Falcon show. And so it was just like all these projects I didn't particularly care for. And it was like throwing them all in this one movie, this little mishmash group. And I was like, who cares? You know?
right. Finding who
I,
asked.
I did enjoy it. So I thought it was actually really good. So
Yeah. If anything, and I was looking over the Marvel movies that have come out lately. There, I was gonna use like I don't know, like Endgame as a reference, but like I realized that Endgame's come out like almost 6 years ago. So like to say like I don't want to forget other movies by saying like, oh, this is one of the better ones since then. But I'd say it really is like up there with the better Marvel movies of the past few years post Endgame. Obviously, Guardians 3 was really good. Wakanda 2 was really good. Or I'm sorry, Black Panther 2. Wakanda Forever is really good. Um, but I think this one it worked really well, and I like something you said on our way home, which was that like each character was like the best version of themselves that we've seen.
yeah, I mean, I wasn't even necessarily sold on Florence Pugh as like the next Black Widow. I mean, she's a
Mhm.
great actress and everything, but it's like when you take a great actor and put him in Marvel, I mean, we've seen it time and time again. It doesn't always translate to they're
They can
going to
waste people. Walton
give
Goggins was an Ant-Man too, and it's
yeah, and look how that turned out. And Christian Bale was in Thor and everyone thought that was going to be amazing and then look what happened. So,
yeah,
like just because you're a high caliber actor, sometimes an actor needs a good script to work with. And if it's not there, then, it doesn't matter how talented they are.
right,
And thankfully, not only, are they talented performers, but they had a good movie to work with. So,
yeah. I thought I mean, the scenes looked really. It looked like they also like I saw some of the behind the scenes stuff. They really put in the work with this one because I know in the past Marvel's gotten kind of criticized, and I think fairly, for doing a lot of like CGI where like you don't need to do CGI, and a lot of like there's a whole meme about Spider-Man No Way Home where it's like they filmed Doctor Strange's like the porch, the front of his house with a blue screen in the background. It's like, why'd you have to do that? Um, but then you saw in the behind the scenes, like with like Florence Pugh, like she was on the edge of an actual skyscraper. Like, wow, they did a lot of work with this movie.
yeah, they did a lot of on location shooting for a lot of the scenes. So I think that was cool. I mean, I didn't notice. I mean, sometimes I can tell when something like a background is fake. And I only really noticed it like a few times, like sometimes when you're looking at like a skyline or
Mhm.
something, you're like, okay, that's fake. But for the most part, I mean, it looked like, they were filming in actual buildings and city, as far as I know, all that stuff on the sidewalk was real. So,
Right?
because there was a CGI sidewalk in the whatever recent Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, I
So,
think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
yeah, so I'm like, as far as I know, that was real, or if it wasn't, it was way more convincing. So,
right.
but yeah, I thought visually it actually looked like a movie, and someone actually knew how to like light a scene, and it wasn't this like gray sludge filter, so
Yeah,
it felt like a movie, which is nice.
and I think the pacing worked really well. I think like from start to finish, I was engaged. I enjoyed the movie. The villain was good, and well, we can talk more about specific to the villain in our last kind of spoilery section. But and I don't really have any complaints. Like I went in like there were good funny moments, there were good serious moments. Like it all just I think it worked.
Yeah, it was a pretty balanced movie, which I think is what, you know, people who've been more critical of these movies have kind of been wanting is something that, feels authentic and is
Hmm.
not just, not trying to sell you on a different movie and you're like, well, I paid for this movie, so can we have this movie, please? So
Hmm.
not trying to set up a bunch of stuff. I mean, I know obviously there's teases at the end, but it felt earned, It didn't
Yeah,
feel like,
random.
oh, we're just gonna shoehorn this guy. Here's Skippy McDippy,
Right.
from a movie from 30 years ago,
Yeah.
that so it's like it felt authentic and earned and natural. So
Yeah. So I'll definitely say before we move on to spoiler territory, if you're still not, if you haven't seen it yet, which is probably a lot of people since it just came out, yeah, I'd highly recommend you see it. I can't think of like an actual out of five thing to do right now, but I mean, I think it's a very solid movie and up there with, you know, more recent Marvel movies for sure.
I'd give it like 4 stars out of 5, which if you look at my rating for Marvel movies, it's like in the upper echelon.
Yeah,
So it
I really enjoyed
was,
it.
yeah, it was unlike any Marvel movie that they've made so far, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah,
So,
it was really good, and I mean, there was even part like I even felt like very emotional, like toward at one point. I was like, wow, this is really, this is hitting in a way a lot
mhm,
of Marvel movies don't. So.
yep.
Well, let's real quick. Let's talk spoilers real quick. I think we both left in the car also saying one of our favorite characters was Bob, who played the Sentry. What do you think about Bob?
From the second he popped up when they were in that little basement area, I was like, oh, I'm gonna like you. So
Yeah,
he was, I mean, he could be funny. Um, and then like what they ended up doing, like him being this guy who was experimented on, and his like whole backstory was obviously really sad, but then he gets his transformation into the Sentry, like when they're trying to fight him, and
mhm,
he's just like they can't get any licks in, like he's just
yeah.
pummeling them. That was like probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie. I thought that was cool, where they're just like they're trying their best, but it's like to no avail,
It's nothing. Yeah,
Yeah, and he's just like he rips Bucky's arm off, he bends that guy's shield, like he throws somebody out the window,
yeah,
like it was cool to see because my big thing with Marvel is they love to not really showcase people with real powers. Like everyone, if you look at the Marvel characters, and maybe it's just a Marvel Comics problem in general, but it's like all these people are like, they got like serums that have juiced them up, or they've got suits that are the real power, and it's just like a person inside, It's like or nanotech, or it was nice to see someone with real powers, if you get what I'm saying.
and I would say like I mean in the comics you have the X-Men, which like X-Men, they have their powers, but like movie wise, we haven't really seen a ton of that lately of like authentic superpowers. You know?
Yeah, because I mean, you have Thor and you have the Hulk, and that's almost it. Everybody else is just they have something that gives them their power.
Right.
Which I'm also excited for the Fantastic Four because that'll change in a big way because they actually have powers. So it's like I want to see superheroes be superheroes. So it
Yeah.
was like a breath of fresh air. And I
Yeah.
guess he's technically when he changes into, the void side of him, I guess he's not just a hero, but also the movie's like kind of antagonist. I mean,
Yeah.
when you think about it, like, does the movie really have an antagonist? I
I
mean,
mean, I guess
I
the
guess the
CIA
void.
director lady is
Yeah.
pushing things along as the antagonist, but
And the the Void is kind of an antagonist, but um yeah,
A
when
lot of it
he
is emotional,
yeah,
fighting demons.
the villain is trauma.
Yes. I will
Um
before we I wanted to say too what I mentioned, I can't remember who did she play? I can't remember her name, which isn't I mean the CI director lady.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
Yeah, her character. I remember like when she would appear here and there in post credit scenes and all that in the last few years, I'd be like, oh come on, like I don't know, man, this isn't doing it for me. I thought like she
It
did
was
what she
like
had to do in
it
this
was
movie.
like Diet Amanda Waller, and you were
Right.
like, no one's beating Viola Davis. Sorry.
But watching the movie, I'm like, you know what? She did fine. Like she accomplished her mission, I think, in the movie, kind of
Yeah, it
driving
was the
things
best
forward.
version of that for her. Like
Right, exactly.
everyone was the best version of themselves that I've seen.
Yeah.
So,
And one thing too, as we kind of wrap up here on the spoiler end of stuff, I thought, and I was talking to Mia about this, that even though technically the scale of the threat in the movie was pretty high, if the void was successful and like his void shadows kept spreading, I guess he would have encompassed the whole world. So that technically is a global threat. But I think what was also refreshing about the movie is it never felt global. There was no CGI third battle scene where it's just like a bunch of mesh and aliens and all that. Like truly at the end, there's like them trying to help him, which I thought was really cool.
and the way the void was realized in the
Hmm.
movie, like, was really unique with the people kind of disappearing into these like shadows that were like
Mm.
stamped into the ground. I thought that was really cool. The him being like this like shaded character and his eyes are all
Oh, that
that's
was creepy.
glowing. That
Yeah.
was so creepy. Um, so it was everything to do with like Sentry and the Void and all that I thought was really well done. I would have liked to see him a little more in the suit, although I hope I'm assuming, in the future we'll get to see him
Yeah.
in look, though I don't know if he'll be blonde based on how he was acting in the movie. So
Yeah.
we shall see.
Maybe he'll keep the brown hair.
Like I
Which,
want to keep it natural. So
yeah.
I do
Uh,
like the gold suit that they had for
yeah.
him though.
The suit worked pretty well.
Yeah.
Um, And then at the end, we did get the, kind of like the twist. And I guess this is why they had the asterisks on Thunderbolts the whole time, was that they are now, technically the new Avengers. She does that to kind of cover herself, like, hey, these are the new Avengers now. And we got that post-credit scene with, I guess, a year after the movie or so, them noticing the Fantastic Four ship coming into their dimension.
Yep. So I'm like, are we technically spoiling the Fantastic Four movie a little bit here? Maybe.
We'll
I
see, I
mean,
guess.
I guess they did spoil it, basically. They're like,
Yeah.
hey, everybody, go watch the Fantastic Four
Yeah, you got to
movie.
figure out what happened.
Yeah.
Um, I will say because I've been like, I think like you, I am hesitant to get solely invested in the new movie coming out in a couple of years, where they've announced much of the cast, but they're like only just now filming, and the script was in the works, and we're like, we'll see with this whole RDJ Doctor Doom thing. But I will say, like, this movie got me in a good Marvel mood, and so we'll see about the future. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Well, I guess the problem with that one is it doesn't feel earned. It's just like, we need a big villain for this Avengers movie. Let's do Doctor Doom. And it's like,
Yeah.
there's been nothing to, I mean, if you're a hardcore MCU fan, you like that, it's a long form of storytelling over the years and everything's connected. And I guess for a while, it just feels like nothing's been really connected.
Of course,
So
if the stuff with Kang hadn't the behind the scenes stuff with Kang hadn't happened, I think we'd be looking at a very different plot right now.
potentially, but even that, I was kind of like, I mean, they kind of turned him into a joke because he got beat by
And
ants.
beat by yeah, he got beat by the ants. So
So I'm like, that's your big threat? Oh, okay.
yeah,
So,
I mean we'll see.
um,
I want to go in with an open mind in a couple years, but
I'm not.
he's decided
Well, I
already.
hate the casting, I'll be honest. Like I think it's to be like, oh, please come watch this again. We'll make RDJ say snippy one-liners, we promise. So
What's he gonna say? Is that he's like, Mr. Stark, is that you?
yeah, like he's gonna
Help
say,
us,
"Hey,
please no.
Underoos." So
I would hope not, but we'll see. But let's stay on track with the here and the now. Thunderbolts was really good.
it was. I mean, I hope I hope Marvel can kind of get back on track because they've had a rough couple years. I mean, some movies have done well, but others not so much. And nobody's watching the Disney Plus shows anymore.
Yeah,
Ironheart comes out next month, and I ain't seen a thing for it or anybody talk about it. And
yeah,
I'm like, you know, it's just it's in a bad state right now. So
yeah.
they needed a
Well,
win. I hope this movie does
I think this
well.
was a win,
They
and hopefully it
they
does
need a
well.
win.
Yeah. Well, that's all we got for now. So overall, good movie. Go see it. And this summer we got a lot of movies coming out. So I think we'll do more videos like this over the summer as we talk about, Fantastic Four and Superman coming out in the summer.
Oh boy.
Yep, we're hyped. So until then, we shall see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Yay, comics!